I had been thinking about doing this trip, a 2-week solo in the Boundary Waters, for several years, but other things kept getting in my way. The last few years, however, I've been noticing that the portages aren't getting any shorter or easier. My packs aren't getting any smaller or lighter. Most of all, I'm not getting any younger. It was painfully obvious that if I was going to do this trip, now was the time. And so it was, early in the morning of August 17th, 2015, I set out from the Lake One landing to begin an epic journey. Epic for me in any case. Well, good morning. Welcome to day 12. I got a fire going this morning so I can heat up water for oatmeal. So far it's a foggy, overcast day. I thought it was supposed to be sunny today. I sure could use some sunshine to charge up my power pack. But at least it's not raining right now. And I'm going to have hot oatmeal this morning. Sam's waiting for his breakfast. Here's my oatmeal. It's blueberries and, you can't see them, but it's blueberries and cream this morning. I gotta dig out some food for him. Now that my water has boiled, I'm going to let the fire was mostly birch, including the bark. So that's why it's so smoky. Unfortunately, my eyes are now burning, but it burned well, other than being smoky like that. I'll have to get some more wood later on this afternoon, and if the rain holds off long enough, I can have a hot meal for supper tonight too. That would be nice. If not, I have plenty of sandwich fixings. I haven't even started on my tuna fish yet. I have something like 8 tortillas left, 8 or 9. Plenty of cheese, plenty of sausage, and 5 tuna fish packs. And I have, what, 4 days left? Let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 5 days left. And of course, on the last day I probably won't eat lunch anyway, so that leaves 4 days. So I have plenty of alternatives to having a hot meal, and it's supposed to be getting warm the next few days anyway, so I may not feel like having a hot meal in the evenings. At least as long as I can have oatmeal for breakfast most mornings, I should be okay. My pot's going to get black. I did put soap on it before I put it on over the fire, so hopefully that'll alleviate some of the black, or make it a little bit easier to remove some of that black. But in any case, I think I have an extra large Ziploc that I can put the pot in when I pack up and leave. And speaking of packing up and leaving, I've decided I'm going to stay put at this site. It does mean that tomorrow morning when I head off to Insula, I'm going to have extra paddling to do to get across Thomas. So tomorrow is going to be quite a bit of paddling, because I got to get across Thomas. Then I have a 25 rod portage into Kiana. And Kiana is a medium-sized lake, larger than most of them that I went through yesterday, not as big as Thomas. So I'm going to be paddling almost the whole length of Kiana. Then I have a 180 rod portage into Insula, And after yesterday's portaging, 180 rods should be a piece of cake. Then once I get to Insula, if I want to get close to the Hudson portage, then I've got a lot more paddling to do to get there. Hopefully I don't have much of a wind, or if I do, it's not directly out of the south. So anyway, for today I plan to stay here. Hopefully the sun will come out later. I can go for a dip, get some of this crud washed off of my clothes, get my battery pack charged up, which I'll talk about later, and I think life will be good. Well, life's good. Here's a better look at my oatmeal with a couple of blueberries showing. Well, they're now talking 70% chance of rain tonight. Still supposed to be partly cloud or partly sunny today. 40% chance of showers this afternoon. 70% tonight. But they removed all mention of rain from the forecast for tomorrow. So I should be able to get a fairly good start in the morning. Of course, I'll be packing up wet. They're now starting to talk about rain Monday night into Tuesday. Tuesday, of course, being my planned exit day. I'm going to have to stay tuned to that, but I may not take a layover day on Insula after all, and I may just exit a day early, make this a 15-day trip instead of a 16. Because well, I've endured a lot of rain out here, having rained the last day or last night and day that you're in isn't all that appetizing. Packing up wet, going out wet. So Monday is supposed to be nice. Rain's supposed to move in Monday night into Tuesday. Right now they're talking about a 40% chance, but that might increase as we get closer to the day. Just have to all keep monitoring it, and especially was it Sunday morning or Saturday I'll have to monitor it real close and decide on Sunday whether to move on to Lake 4 for a quick exit or so let me take you on another tour now that everything's kind of set up here. As I said yesterday, I decided to put my tent back in here. It's really nice. One of the reasons I decided not to move on today is that there's a nice dip where my hip fits underneath where my sleeping bag is. As long as we don't get too much rain where that dip fills up with water, I'll be okay. Oh, I got a little problem with my zipper here I gotta take care of. So that was really nice and comfortable last night, having that little pocket for my hip. Okay, and then I'll show you, I just set up the tarp. There's Sam, nice and comfy cozy. And here's my tarp setup. I put it over one of the other tent pads. I'm going to have to remember to duck when I go to the latrine because of this line in the way. But I think this is going to work nicely. I only had to use one stake, and looks like I have enough of a runoff on here to, if not, I can always lower one of these to let some more water row. roll off. So if it does actually rain, I'm all set now. It's still cloudy. It's what? Get to my watch here. It's about 20 after 9. It's still cloudy. Our partly sunny hasn't arrived yet. Kind of a blah looking day. Clouds don't even have any structure to them, so not really much of anything to take a picture of now that I have all this time on my hands. Might actually go out for a canoe ride in just a minute here, as long as it's staying calm and everything. Do some exploring. The sun is trying to shine, not doing a very good job of it. This looks to be the second site. Maybe I should have taken this one instead of the one I did. But I didn't think they put the two sites that close together. So I was thinking this wasn't a site after all. The water looks like it might be a nicer site than the one I got. Got a nice landing there. Kitchen area has an unobstructed view of the lake, unlike my site. Somewhere down in here, there's a portage into a little lake. Harmony Lake, it looks like. Very little lake. No campsites on it. No exit. No other portages in or out. Not quite sure why anybody would go there. The fishing is really good. Being a small lake, I wouldn't expect that to be the case. It's like the landing and the portage right here. I think I'll pass. Well, I just went out for an hour-long paddle. Didn't go very far. Unfortunately, my battery quit before I got too far around. Not the battery in my Olympus. Not that there was anything really all that interesting out there anyway. But anyway, I'm back at camp now. I'm definitely feeling the effects of yesterday. So this day off is definitely welcome. I'm Probably going to be napping a lot this afternoon. I wish I could get my clothes clean today, but I'm afraid that if I wash them, given the current lack of plentiful sunshine and not a lot of breeze and a little bit on the humid side, and threat of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening, that I just wouldn't get them dry, and they'd just get even more soaked overnight, which the extra rinse wouldn't be bad, but packing them up wet in the morning would not be good. And I definitely have to get out of here in the morning, so I'm sitting here, and of course they got especially smoky this morning with the fire, so it would really be nice to go. And the rain has started. Only a little bit of drizzle so far, but there is thunder rumbling off in the distance. So I have retreated to my tarp. Probably heard that thunder there. Retreated to my tarp. Had to change batteries again in my Olympus. I managed to charge up another one from the little battery chargers that I got last September. So unfortunately the solar panel only charged up to 40%. Didn't make it up to 60. So it looks like it's charged up as much as it's going to get today. Probably tomorrow. I got to remember when I'm on my way across Insula Lake to set that up in the back of the canoe, because it's supposed to be mostly sunny tomorrow, so I can be charging that up while I'm paddling across Insula, because I'll be 2 or 3 hours paddling on Insula probably, so that will help charge up the batteries. Anyway, I am sitting here under the tarp, all set for it's about 2:30 and it's really raining and booming now. We're nice and snug and dry under our tarp here. Sam especially, wrapped up in his blanket, even though it's not really all that cold. I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of the raindrops or not. Anyway, no wind with it so far, touch wood. Just thunder, lightning, and a little bit of water. Well, that rain shower only lasted for about half an hour or so, and then the skies partially cleared, so we have finally our partial sunshine. It's kind of a hazy sunshine though, so not clear blue skies by any means, except for behind us we have some. It's almost 7 o'clock p.m. on day 12, so I think it's time for a daily wrap-up. Hi, Sam. Pretty easy today, layover day. Went out for a quick paddle this morning. Still feeling the effects of yesterday's efforts, so I didn't stay out for very long. I did take a quick dip today to clean off. I didn't get my clothes rinsed like I would have liked, because I was afraid they wouldn't dry out. And as it turned out, they probably would have been okay. We did have that short rainstorm, thunder shower this afternoon, but Not much excitement or much of anything going on today, and that's good because I did need a rest day. They have now dropped the rain chances for tonight from 70% down to 40%. But they did say that some of the showers could be severe with high wind and possibly hail. So I put my canoe in a little bit more sheltered area in case the winds get too strong. Not sure, 40% nothing may happen, or I may be right in the thick of things, who knows. Well, it's day 13 of this adventure, and I'm starting to get packed up, ready to go. We had 4 or 5, I lost count, thunder showers went through last night. Lots of thunder and lightning, lots of rain. Only had wind in one of the showers, the others were pretty calm. Anyway, I survived the night okay. Everything survived. I got a couple of little damp spots underneath the tent, but nothing major. So the plan is to go on to Insula today. Listening to the forecast this morning, nothing has changed for today or tomorrow, forecast-wise. They're now talking 50% chance of showers Monday night. So the chances have gone up again. So I'm going to have to really monitor the situation because I still don't know whether this is a 15 or a 16-day trip. A lot depends on what it looks like for Monday night now, whether I head in a day early or not. Anyway, I gotta continue to get packed up here. I got up about 5:30 and just need to keep moving. Okay, it's 8 o'clock on the dot, and I'm pulling away from my Thomas Lake campsite. You haven't even started the day, I'm already worn out. I have a good size paddle across Thomas Lake here, and then 25 rodder into Kiana, about a mile down the length of Kiana, and 180 rod portage into Insula, and then a few miles of paddling in Insula to get to the site that I want to get to, or get to the part I want to get to. Hopefully I can get the site I want. So, it's cool but damp this morning. It's supposed to get up into the upper 70s today. Wind is supposed to stay about 5 miles an hour, but from the south, so I'm going to be heading into it most of the day. But if it stays at about 5 miles an hour, that's not going to be too big of a deal. I gotta be careful of rocks in through here, which I can't see because of the angle of the sun. Speaking about having to watch out for rocks. We're just coming up to the island that I really wanted to get to the other night. It's taken us almost 45 minutes to get here this morning, considering how tired I was the other day. It probably would have taken me an hour to get here. And that was an hour's worth of energy that I didn't really have.
Kiana Lake. Only one portage stands between me and Insula now, but it's a 180, and it looks like the beginning of the portage is going to be at least as steep as this last portage. So and here we come up to the portage landing. Again, this is a 180 ride portage that will take us to Insula from Kiana. Second and final portage of the day. Quarter after 11, and I'm just putting in on Lake Insula. That portage was steep at both ends. Otherwise, pretty nice. The trail was nice. Not a lot of brush. Pretty level footing. And the landing at this end was a sandy beach with a few rocks, so that definitely was not a problem. So now we have a couple of hours of paddling to get to the part of the lake that I want to get to, but that means we should easily be in camp by 2 o'clock, I think. I never added up how many miles I have to paddle across this lake, but it is a big lake. It doesn't feel like a big lake a lot of times because of all the bays and islands. Anyway, I am here on Insula. I'm done with portaging for the day. All I have to do now is paddle and paddle and paddle. Probably take a rest break somewhere along the way, because I doubt I can stay in the canoe sitting paddling for that long. Anyway, much rather be paddling, especially if there's no wind, or very little wind, than portaging. Here on the right is my campsite from nights 2 and 3, when we got the first rainstorm. There's the campsite itself. Take a little bit of a breather here. It's now noon, so I've been going about an hour, almost non-stop. I did have to change over my maps a little while ago, but by my reckoning, we're about halfway there. I haven't seen anybody since I put on Insula. I saw 3 campsites taken on Thomas, including that nice one on the island that I kind of wanted to get the other day. So anyway, I think Sam recognized the campsite. He got kind of excited when we came around that corner. Time to get moving on, I think. Unless I land here real quick and take a stretch. Okay, I just landed at the campsite on Insula that I wanted, and it is actually free. It's a beautiful looking site from the water. I haven't been up in the site yet, so you and I can discover it together. But here's the boat landing. It's nice and sheltered by a couple of rocks here. Nice little island off the just offshore here. I just love this big open rock here. Great place for sitting and watching for northern lights, or watching the stars, assuming the sky's ever clear. Nice view in through there. Even though this is in the area of Insula that burned, there's quite a bit of area here that escaped damage. So, oh, here's another boat landing over this side. Okay. Not sure which one is better. So, anyway, coming up into the site here. Boy, somebody's really made an elaborate seating area with these logs here around the fireplace. And look at this, what they've done. It's almost a log cabin here. Wow. Nice pile of wood here. Nice area here for setting up a tent. Another tent pad back in here. Wow, there's just trails everywhere here. I don't know which one to go down. Not such a good area up in here. A month or so ago, this would have been a great place for finding raspberries and blueberries. Another place for tents in here. Wow. Presumably this is the path to the latrine. A lot of rose hips here. Well, this is interesting. And there's the latrine. It's not very far back. Not very far from the water over this side. I don't think the Forest Service followed their own distance rules there on that one. So anyway, looks like I have some good choices for putting up my tent. I think this looks like a good place to call home for the night. Used to have a campsite on it. Don't know if it still does or not. I've camped here many a time before the fire. Sure looks a lot different. Doesn't look like it does have a campsite on here anymore. My third trip to the Boundary Waters, I camped here. And a few times since then.
This is what the campsite looked like when I first visited in June of 1995. And this is what the island looks like now.
Greetings from Lake Insula on day 13. Thought I'd give you my day 13 rundown here. And I'm doing it on my SLR since I'm running out of memory on little sunshine, even though there was supposed to be quite a bit. Started out on the east side of Thomas Lake this morning. Did about a 3-mile paddle across Thomas Lake, 25 rod portage into Kiana, about a mile of paddling on Kiana, a 180 rod portage from Kiana to Insula, and then about 2 hours of paddling on Insula, so about 6 miles, 5 or 6 miles on Insula, I think. But I found the campsite that I wanted. It was unoccupied, and since I got here I have not seen a soul, so it's been good from that perspective. I'm really disappointed in the sunshine the last few days. It keeps getting promised to us, and then, well, keeps getting forecast for us, and then it never materializes. Today was one of those days. I did get a little bit of sunshine. Unfortunately, my solar panels need sunshine in order to charge up, and I've been getting precious little. So batteries are getting to be a little bit of a concern. So I don't know. I've got 2 days left. I'm charging up one battery right now, but it's going to pretty much deplete my charger again. And unless we get some good sunshine tomorrow that I can charge it up again, I don't know. Anyway, I have pretty much decided now I'm going to come out a day early on Monday, because they're still forecasting thunder showers Monday night, and I just can't see going through that again for the last night that I'm here. So I'm packing up in the morning and heading for Lake 4, and then the morning after that, then I'll pack up and go home. So anyway, I did get here early enough in the day that I was able to relax. Got some clothes washed, rinsed, which is why I'm wearing blue again. The clothes have not been drying real fast because of that lack of sunshine, but they've been drying, so hopefully I can wear them again tomorrow, or at least pack them up and not have them be damp. What else can I say? Went for a short paddle around the bay to the north of us, which contains a island that used to have a campsite on it that I stayed at a few times. Most notably, my third trip in, I stayed there when I came in with a bunch of Boy Scouts. And then I'm pretty sure I stayed at that campsite when I did my first solo canoe trip up here, which was a 10-day trip, and I'm pretty sure I stayed at that campsite, but I'm not positive. It may have been a different trip. Anyway, I have stayed there 2 or 3, maybe 4 times over the course of my 60 trips. It was always a favorite stop of mine, and there's no campsite there anymore, and even if there was, it doesn't look like anything that anybody would want to camp at anyway. So anyway, that wraps up day 13, and so it is gradually clearing, so it might actually clear off tonight. Not supposed to get very cold. It's supposed to be up in the mid-80s tomorrow, so I'm going to want to get an early start and get ahead of that. Not to mention that the winds are supposed to be from the south at 5 to 15 miles an hour. So the last part of my intended trip tomorrow is going to take me southwards, so I don't want to be leaving that too late in the day either. So anyway, my plan tomorrow is to take the 109 rod portage over into Hudson Lake, and then instead of going out the way I came in, I'm going to go up through Fire Fire Lake. There's a 10-rod portage into Fire Lake, and then there's like a 20 and a 30 between Fire Lake and Lake 4. And then I'll work my way back down Lake 4 and around, and hoping to get that campsite that the campsite that I first stayed at way back when I first took my first trip here. I think it would be fitting for this trip to end at that same campsite. So anyway, whatever happens, hopefully I can keep videoing tomorrow, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Well, Sam is comfy in my sleeping bag. While I've been trying to get things sorted out here, he's curled up nice and comfy, cozy on my sleeping bag, and sleeping quite nicely.